Alright, I am definitely my parents' daughter. I certainly am. I mean, often when my parents were, feeling pretty certain, and whether they were right or whether they were wrong, they were feeling pretty certain that I had done something that was a serious mistake, or I was going to do something that was a serious mistake, or something that really just wasn't going to work out, or something was going to happen because of it. They didn't really tend to get conversational. They would just be like, "Don't do that. Do not do that." And then they would be like, "Why did you do that? What are you doing?" Like that. They kind of were that way. And it didn't really totally work out for me. They weren't always that way, but certainly I have that tendency, right? So I guess I want to talk about this some more. I want to talk about another side of it. Like, it's very difficult to be gay. It's really difficult to be gay, and of course, at your age, if you were heterosexual, you would have had lots of girlfriends already, or you would have had a number of experiences and maybe one serious girlfriend, that kind of thing, and you've been like having to like not be able to really be yourself, right? So and here is a situation in which you feel like you can be yourself, except that you don't know that that's really what it is, right? You know that you can be gay with him. It's not necessarily the same thing as being yourself. But the thing that you want to be aware of, especially at your age, is something that is like, feels like an easy and total and kind of sudden answer to like everything that's been bothering you. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he knows how to be gay. He's been gay for however long he's been gay. Things that are still really confusing and difficult for you, he has experience with them. He can at least like feel for that with you. Except that, you can get that information from someone without actually being in the relationship with that person. And trust me, who knows more than I do, and then a lot of other women, how very cruel and insecure and insensitive guys your age can be. I mean, you can be that way, right? And certainly in romantic situations, guys can be very insensitive. Women can be too. Certainly, women can be too. But I would imagine it's very, very, very difficult. A lot of very difficult things about dating when you're gay at all ages, because you're so stigmatized. There's really not very much support from society. It's still illegal in a lot of places, and it's really painful. It's really frightening. All of those things, and yet, it's something I think to learn to deal with without having somebody else do it for you. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you could even look at it from his perspective, like that he may not have thought about. Say you move in together, and then in 6 months, you start to feel like, yeah, this has been really, I really liked this. It's been really fun. I've really liked to be able to be gay with you. Except that now that I've, like, feeling more secure about being gay, I'm kind of looking around. I'm like, we've got this lease for, like, this apartment, and, like, that I don't know. I mean, I go out and I see other people, and I'm just kind of, once you get to the point where it's not just about, like, you're feeling like, like feeling totally fulfilled because all of your insecurities right at the moment are being dealt with by the fact you're in a relationship with someone who understands those insecurities. Once you kind of get over that, what then? Do you see what I'm saying? And being gay is something that you're going to have to deal with. Again, it's difficult. It's really difficult. I mean, certainly, it would be a lot better for everyone in the world if gay marriage were just legal everywhere, and people were like, the only big deal about this is making sure that gay people don't get harassed, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm not saying it's not difficult. I'm just saying, beware of something that feels total. Especially if you never really have been able to have anything, and you've been kind of like not been able to be yourself for such a long time. Beware of the thing that kind of makes you feel like all of a sudden everything's solved, everything's fixed, because it isn't, though. It isn't. It's just the first part of it. It's just the first part of like you being able to like be this part of yourself. You've got years and years and years and years and years and years of time that you're gonna have to be spending figuring out how to live your life. Everybody has to do that. And as you get older, if you take steps to have the right experiences and to try to understand your experiences, and to have perspective on them that helps you, then there are going to be times, a lot of times, when your judgment will develop. First of all, your judgment will develop, and you will be able to get to an answer very quickly. But that's not the same thing as like an easy answer. You know, it's more like being ready for a more advanced class. You know, if you were a beginner and you were like went immediately into an advanced class, you wouldn't be able to do any of it, right? You kind of have to work your way through the steps. But you know, this is kind of like cheating in a way. In a way, it's kind of like cheating. You know, for both of you.